is a Golden Age comic book, Strange Tales #9. Pretty cool. Got a vampire cover. It's got one of those famous ads inside. I gain muscle. Blind date. This is kind of a cool little story here. This guy's sort of a mobster type of wise guy. He's a gambling guy. He sees this girl in a convertible, kind of likes her. He tells his buddy he's going to go try to pick her up. So he starts bothering her. She thinks he's sort of an asshole, which he is. Shots there. He can't take the hint. He keeps bugging her. She says she's waiting for some wealthy guy. He's like, you can't wrap your arms around dough. She threatens to call the cops to get rid of him because he's bothering her. And he's like, I'm friends with the cops. I got him on the payroll. He's like a mobster guy. She won't take no for an answer. Jumps in the car with her. Tells her to drive. She keeps telling him she's got an appointment. And he's like, I'm on your appointment now. Creepy looking little bastard, ain't he? Turn, let's see. She starts driving away. He tries to tell her, take him to some place down the highway out in the middle of nowhere. And she's like, I know a shortcut. And she was outside this gambling place waiting for this other guy. This old man shows up in a cab. He says it was a blind date. He was supposed to meet some girl. He's like a real old man who's got a bad heart. He's about to die. The other mobster guy, his friend, says, if she's interested in my friend, she's no good for you anyway. So they're driving away. The woman starts driving all fast and crazy. The mobster guy starts freaking out. He wants to get out of the car, but the door's locked. He threatens to bash her brains in here. She starts driving towards a mountain. And then you find out she was actually in disguise. She's Death. And she was supposed to take the other old man, but since this guy was such an idiot, insisting on getting in the car with her, Death is gonna take him instead. There's another story about Death here. Most sensational all-metal electric spray gun. And this next story is pretty cool. A strange game. This guy's a card shark. He goes into a bar. He's all nervous and freaked out. The bartender asks him what's going on. He starts telling him the story that happened. He came across this card game where there's a bunch of creepy characters. And they were just all playing with letters instead of numbers. So he's like, I'll play you. Nothing I like better than a poker game. He thinks they're all just a bunch of nuts. So he's a cheater. He stacks the deck so he'll get 4 jacks. They're just betting letters. He doesn't know what the letters represent. So he has 4 jacks. But this guy's got 4 queens. Beats him. So he keeps losing in all the rounds, and he's surprised because he's a great cheater. He usually wins. So he decides to quit. He's like, I don't know what the letters are for, but I'll tell you one thing, I ain't paying off. And you're like, you're going to pay at midnight. We'll collect. So he runs away, goes to this bar, and he starts freaking out when he gets near midnight. Then he screams. The bartender looks. There's nothing left but his head. The letters stand for A for arm, B for body, L for leg. That's what he lost in the poker game. There's a cool little picture there. Newest Hit Tunes Records. World premiere, The Man from Mars. One of the strangest stories. Every story is one of the strangest stories ever told, according to this comic book. And this story here is actually written by Stan Lee of Marvel Comics fame. This guy likes to go see horror movies, but he didn't have any money. So he asked his mother if she'll lend him the money. And she's like, I gave you $5 yesterday. He's like, what do you care? It's only money. And she's like, I'm saving money to buy a pair of glasses. And he's like, screw it. I don't need a lecture. I'll find a way to see the movie. That's your crummy dollar. He's like, well, I don't know why she always wants me to get a job. What does she think I am, a slave or something? Then he runs across this spaceship with a sign that says, if you want to see Mars, enter. So he thinks it's a part of the movie promotion. So he gets in thinking he's all smart because he's going to get to see the movie for free. He thinks all the people outside are jealous of him and they're a bunch of suckers. And then you find out he wakes up, this thing took off. It was a real Martian spaceship, and he's locked in here with somebody from the moon, somebody from Venus. The end. You can do something about pimples. This story here's kind of cool. I like the artwork. Drink Deep Vampire. This guy works in a cemetery. He sees a vampire attacking somebody. Another one of the strangest stories ever told. A police officer. This is supposed to be in Croatia. No, Cervna, Hungary. A police officer carries silver bullets in this country, apparently. Which I thought silver bullets only kill werewolves, not vampires. He misses the vampire. The vampire gets away. He asks the graveyard keeper how come he didn't do anything. He's like, I don't have any weapon. Then he comes up with an idea to make money. So he follows. The vampire turned into a bat, so he follows it. Goes to its castle, turns back to man-like form. He looks in. There's like a dozen vampires there. So he decides an idea to make a lot of money. One of the vampires sees him, says he's getting thirsty. I'm glad you showed up. There's an ad for Reduce Your Waistline for men. I guess it's a girdle. So he tells the vampires he wants to sell them blood. And they're like, what? He takes them to the leader. This bat's name is Gorlock. He says, I'll bring you blood every afternoon like a milkman, and that way you don't have to worry about going out and killing people and worried about getting caught. You just pay me money for it, and they make a business arrangement. So the vampires think it's a good idea. So he starts delivering blood, collecting the money. Then the vampires start complaining they're going broke, and they're weak all the time. They have to drink more and more blood. They're all complaining about how they're drinking more and more blood, but they keeps feeling thirsty every night, going broke, never get enough. And the vampire decides to get up an hour earlier to investigate to see what the guy's up to. And he attacks him and bites his throat and kills him. Then we find out the human was ripping them off. He's coming in, draining their blood and reselling it back to them every night while they're asleep. It's kind of funny. Stop falling hair dandruff. All these ads in comic books are like trying to make you feel bad about yourself somehow. Well, this is kind of a funny little story here. This guy's like a editor or publisher of a comic book company. See these things, you can't really see if there's comic books on the wall. And he's talking about firing all these different people that keep talking about him. He's got a stool pigeon who comes in and tells him all the bad things that the editors and comic book artists and stuff are talking about him. And one day he calls his company up. He's going to install a system where he can spy on all the employees. So they show up. They think it's just an intercom system and a system where they can talk to the employees. But then he starts listening to all the phone calls. This one guy, this guy's a rat. How could he fire this other guy with wife and kids? We should start taking an hour lunch anyway, even though he cut it back to half an hour. So he fires all these people that he's overhearing with his illegal eavesdropping equipment. And then one day, some voice starts talking to him. He's like, what the hell is this? A low, rasping, evil voice of doom starts describing his funeral. So he's like, who the hell is this? This is some kind of a joke? Then the guy's talking about how he's going to die in fire and brimstone, all these demons attacking him, be tortured for all eternity. This is a weird little torture scene. And he's like, somebody must be hypnotized me. What is this? Who did that? Who's talking to me? Come in here at once. No, it's impossible. Who is it? That you shouldn't have asked. I guess it's supposed to be death or something. Kind of a dumb story, but oh well. That's supposed to be death grabbing him. Then there's another ad for free United Nations stamps. Take off excess weight, no excuses. How to fix any part of your car. When you have to defend yourself, do what the experts do. 3-power system. Always have funny ads in the backs of comic books. But I'm supposed to be getting a better camera here soon, so I'll be able to film hopefully better. Some guy recommended one that's supposed to film better with close-ups. So I might be able to actually film the text where it shows up. Like here, you can't really read the text. I was actually just filming these as I go along, selling them, because I wanted to keep some record of them for myself. But I'm going to get a better camera here shortly, so we'll see what the results are like. If anybody's out there even watching these things. Take care.